On July 18, 2025, President Trump directed Attorney General Pam Bondi to seek the unsealing of grand jury transcripts from the Jeffrey Epstein case. He made the announcement on Truth Social, calling for transparency and labeling the ongoing speculation a scam driven by political opponents. Bondi responded immediately, stating her team would file legal motions to begin the process the next day. This move comes after a DOJ-FBI memo dismissed major conspiracy theories, fueling backlash and demands for more disclosure. Trump's order puts the Department of Justice at the center of a high-stakes legal and political battle, promising a new chapter in the Epstein saga. Jeffrey Epstein, a financier with powerful global connections and a shadowy past, became a household name for all the wrong reasons. He was accused of orchestrating a vast and deeply disturbing sex trafficking ring, preying on vulnerable underage girls, and exploiting his wealth and influence to evade consequences for years. His 2019 arrest sent shockwaves through the world, and his mysterious jailhouse death, officially ruled a suicide, only fueled widespread suspicion, outrage, and countless conspiracy theories that persist to this day. Epstein's controversial 2008 plea deal, which granted him and many of his powerful associates immunity from serious charges, became a glaring symbol of a justice system that too often protects the privileged and well-connected. The public's demand for answers is rooted in a deep sense of justice denied, a collective outrage, and a growing desire to expose the full extent of Epstein's network and those who may have enabled his crimes. Victims and the public alike want to know who helped Epstein, who looked the other way, and how such abuse was allowed to continue for so long without intervention. They demand to understand how he operated with such impunity, moving freely among the world's elite while hiding his crimes in plain sight. For many, unsealing the grand jury transcripts is seen as a crucial step toward real accountability, shining a light on the truth and beginning to restore trust in institutions that failed so many. Grand jury transcripts are the official records of secret proceedings where citizens hear evidence and decide on criminal indictments. These documents contain sworn testimony from witnesses, often revealing details not found elsewhere. Normally kept secret to protect reputations and investigations, their release is extremely rare and requires a judge's approval. In the Epstein case, advocates argue that public interest and the need for accountability outweigh traditional secrecy. The transcripts could reveal new information about Epstein's operation, co-conspirators, and law enforcement's actions. For many, these records represent the last chance to uncover the full truth behind one of America's most disturbing criminal cases. Past releases of Epstein-related documents have repeatedly left the public frustrated, as they often contain little more than recycled information already revealed during the high-profile Ghislaine Maxwell trial. Many had hoped for bombshell revelations or new names, but instead, the documents have mostly confirmed what was already widely reported, offering few real answers and leaving many questions unresolved. This ongoing pattern of limited disclosure has only fueled deeper skepticism and persistent suspicions of a cover-up, uniting people from all walks of life and across the political spectrum. Protesters, politicians, and everyday citizens alike have joined together in their demand for transparency, accountability, and the full truth behind the case. The recent DOJ-FBI memo, which dismissed the existence of a so-called client list and rejected murder theories, has only deepened public distrust. Even some of Trump's most loyal supporters, who once believed the system would deliver justice, now question whether the full story will ever come to light. Attorney General Bondi, who was once a vocal advocate for full disclosure and transparency, now finds herself under mounting pressure from the public and the media to deliver on her promises and ensure that no stone is left unturned. Each limited and heavily redacted release has only increased the public's appetite for raw, unfiltered evidence and sworn testimony. People are no longer satisfied with summaries or secondhand reports. They want to see the facts for themselves. The growing push to unseal grand jury transcripts is driven by years of secrecy, mounting frustration, and a collective desire to finally see the unfiltered truth. For many, only full transparency will restore any measure of trust in the justice system. The Department of Justice will formally petition a federal judge to unseal the grand jury transcripts, a move that signals the seriousness and complexity of the case. Their legal team will argue that the Epstein case is extraordinary and deserves an exception to the usual rules of grand jury secrecy, citing overwhelming public interest and the need for accountability. The judge will weigh these arguments carefully and could decide to order a full release of the transcripts, a partial disclosure, or to keep them sealed entirely. Privacy concerns for witnesses and legal precedents from past high-profile cases will play a major role in the decision, making the outcome far from certain. This legal process is likely to unfold over several weeks or even months, as both sides present their arguments and the court deliberates. The stakes could not be higher, for the victims seeking justice, for the public demanding answers, and for the integrity of the justice system itself. If the judge allows a full release, it could validate the experiences of victims, reveal the identities of enablers, and potentially spark new investigations. Such transparency could help restore public faith in the idea that no one is above the law, and that accountability is possible, even in the most powerful circles. On the other hand, if the release is limited or underwhelming, it may only deepen public cynicism and reinforce doubts about the system's willingness to confront uncomfortable truths. Still, the very act of seeking transparency represents a pivotal moment in the ongoing quest for justice and answers in the Epstein case. Now the nation waits, watching closely to see if the full truth behind the Epstein case will finally be revealed, and what that might mean for the future.